If you feel like loss is everywhere right now after 40, stay tuned. I've got some really great tips that are going to help you get through this. Welcome to the Change Guru. This is a place where we get our midlife after 40 change on. And if you're on my newsletter, and you can sign up at thechangeguru.net, you know that every now and then I send out little emails saying, hey, what's going on with you? Tell me what's on your mind after 40. And Joanne writes to me and she says that loss is on her mind. Midlife seems to be about loss, and she wasn't prepared for that. She's trying to adjust. She's 51. Her mother died 5 years ago. Her father was in a nursing care. Her father-in-law died 3 years ago. Her mother-in-law is in poor health. She lives far away from her brothers and sisters, and she feels disconnected from community. There's too many endings to adjust to. Yeah, it can seem like that, I know. And, you know, when it comes to the loss of our parents, I think that's such a profound transition. And our society just doesn't do death and grieving well at all. We kind of expect people when they go through a funeral to just get on with their lives, that should be it. But I don't agree with that, and I think things take as long as they're going to take, and different circumstances need different forms of support. So I think that if you're still really feeling the loss of your mom, that there's some ways that you can get support. It might be through working with a coach. It might be working with a therapist. It might just be if you're good at doing things a little bit DIY and just doing it yourself and figuring out some tools to kind of allow yourself to grieve and to just think about your mom and figure out a way to process all of this. And on my website, the show notes for this vlog, I'll put some resources on how to kind of cope if you are struggling with a loss. But that's something to definitely think about. But what I want to do, Joanne, and any of you who are thinking about, you know, what's all this going on with loss right now at midlife, I want to give you 3 strategies for coping with loss that I hope are going to help. When it comes to thinking that there is just so much loss that happens as we get older, I really think it's important to challenge that idea, to kind of reframe our perception, to change the lens that we're looking at life from. I think the reason why we feel loss, and it seems like such a big topic when we're older, is because we're grown-ups. We often have to be the ones to, do funeral preparations or to be carer of a parent. We really feel these things because we're actually having to put our big girl pants on and deal with them, as opposed to when we're younger and other people take care of stuff. But I know, and I'm guessing you probably do also know people that have had major loss very, very early on in their lives, who have seen loss, since they were kids. So loss is always happening all around us all the time, as birth is. One thing that we're not used to, and that we're only just starting to get the grip of right now, is that change is happening all the time. Life changes. Everything is impermanent. Things are constantly in a cycle. So my challenge to you is to reframe your perception that loss, reframe your belief that loss happens just now. And instead, I'd like you to look at proof of life. So be looking for all the times that new things are happening. I want you to look at new buds coming out of plants. I want you to see and hear little baby birds chirping. I want you to notice every single stroller with a little kid in there. I want you to just really kind of reframe your lens and see that there is loss and there is birth and gain all the time. All those things are all around us. It's just a matter of changing our lens. When you have times of great loss, it's a perfect time to take your faith temperature. Do you have some type of spiritual support that you can connect with on a daily basis or as needed throughout the day to just be able to have a moment of quiet reflection and contemplation, to have a moment to just remind yourself that you're safe, that everything's okay? The reason why that's really important for me to mention this is because membership in traditional religions are dropping. 20% of Americans report that they have no religion at all. And while this means that maybe people are finding their own ways to be spiritual, it might mean for some people that they've got nothing in their lives that gives them a little bit of a spiritual time out, a little bit of a break to take a pause and feel like, you know, there's a point to this life. It doesn't feel like things are happening to them. They can see the whole big spiritual picture. So my suggestion is, if you don't have religion in your life, to create your own religion. Yes, you can do that and create your own religion. And it's basically just finding something that uplifts your soul, something that you can turn to on a daily basis. So it's a practice. Ways that I create my own religion are, you know, I have a very strong gratitude practice. I have a sitting practice. I have my yoga practice. I love getting out in nature. I really believe in the golden rule of just being a good person to others. So it's just that simple, of finding something that you can practice every single day that is definitely spiritually focused, that comes straight out of your soul. Creating your own religion is almost like a little bit of mental cushioning to soften the blow of a tough situation. Joanne, you mentioned that during this time you feel like you've lost your sense of community because you live far away from your brother and sister, and I want to say that, you know, you're really on the right path with mentioning community. We need people around us. We need a posse. We need a tribe, and we sometimes have to go and create one. And what I'd love to challenge you to do is to think of something that you absolutely love to do and find a group that likes the same thing. A great resource for finding friends, finding community is called meetup.com. They are all over the world. They are often free, and they are groups on every single topic that you can imagine. Sometimes community doesn't come to us. Sometimes we have to go out and get it. And you hit the nail on the head that you're missing that. That's what you need. So that is your invitation to take a step and go after it. So Joanne, thanks for your question. I hope those ways are going to really serve you. And if you would like me to answer one of your questions, come on over to thechangeguru.net and get on your newsletter. That's where you and I have a personal conversation about getting through life after 40 in a really beautiful, awesome, and soul-fulfilling way. Thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to talking with you next time. Bye for now.